Alright guys, so while I'm waiting for the ink to flow, because for some reason I dipped it, it's not the best. Let's take a closer look at the pen. I don't normally gravitate towards silver, but when I saw this, I fell in love, especially with the nib. So close up of this cap, it's just really pretty. And you can see right there, it says made in Japan, 3776, platinum. It's just beautiful. And this is like a silvery blue. The glitter is just really stunning on it. It's the same color on the barrel. The finials, I almost want to say it's a little bit lighter, as you can see right there. It's more so like a white instead of the blue-gray. And here's a close-up of the nib. I did get it in an extra fine, so yeah, like I said earlier, I'm dipping it, but it's having a hard time like keeping the ink in there or whatever. So I'm just waiting for it to, for the ink to flow, and then we can do the writing sample. But my goodness, I love this. I was hesitant at first because it is a silver, but I kept looking at it, I kept seeing it, and I was just like, all right, I love this so much. Like, it's a beautiful pen. And I think it's one of my only silver pens, I want to say, that's gold. I do have a Decimo, like the white and silver, but I think that's it. Like, everything else that I have is, the gold color. But yeah, I'm very happy to add another silver to my collection, and for it being this, it's stunning. So the name of this is Platinum Kobayashi collaboration, and this is the spring pen. So they released it a bit earlier, and yeah, I love it. I know it's like a spring pen supposedly, but I thought it's just like the perfect winter pen. It's like, come on, this color just reminds me of snow. The nib, of course, is very springy with the sakura flower or the cherry blossom, but that's alright. I love me some girly details like that. It's just such a beautiful nib, my goodness. So I can't wait to try this out. I will be back, I'm just gonna wait for it to flow properly, and then we'll do some writing samples with it. Okay, so it is actually the next day. This is me playing around yesterday after, just dipping my pen in the ink. I waited for it like an hour later to try again, but the sun was gone, so it was way too dark. So anyways, you can see already that this ink is lighter than I expected. I was hoping it'd be darker, but I mean, I don't know. It is pretty though, like right here, I love that. But like writing, I don't know, I feel like it might be a bit too light, which is kind of sad, so I might have to change this out and find a darker color or something, because yeah, I don't know, this might be a little too light. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and like write over here. Well, first, let's do a little line. Okay, this is looking a bit promising. I mean, those lines look darker than the paragraph, so maybe okay, that looks, here, let me zoom you guys in. I feel like you're really far away. Okay, so I feel like that's already darker than over here. This is again dipped. Oh, I flushed out the nib because I noticed it kind of skipping. I don't know. So I flushed it out and then dipped it, and this is that. So I needed to dry out. So that looks lighter, but I mean, that already kind of looks darker. Also, the sun is kind of here, so not sure if the lighting is the best, but I think this is as bright as it's gonna get today. I live in Wisconsin. It's been very gloomy lately. It's awful. So anyways, let's try this out. Oh, that looks pretty good. Because like, yeah, right here, that looks good. But then as I kept writing, maybe because it was dipped, it was running out of ink, you know, and like the ink hasn't fully flown through the pen yet. So maybe that's why it went from dark to light and almost skipping. Let's see. Okay, so that's not too terrible. Again, this is the Platinum This is spring. See, that's already looking so light. Like, what's happening? See, is this... What? I don't know what's happening. I see the color there, but how come... So I'm having a hard time. I'm not sure if... I mean, I fleshed out the nib. That's why it took so long for me to, like, you know, this is the next day. I was waiting for it to fully... Oh, it's just not... I don't know what's happening. Like, okay, that looks good there, but why does it look like that when I write spring? Let me try again. Sorry if my tripod's shaky. It's because my tripod system is connected to the table, so any sort of movement, my camera is gonna shake, and it's really annoying, and I try not to shake it, but sometimes I just can't help it, especially when I'm writing. Okay, I noticed that when I'm writing, it's like scratching up the paper, and then I'm getting chunks like that. Does that make sense? That's weird. Am I pressing too hard? Maybe I'm pressing too hard. Okay, let me write here in the very bottom, very lightly. Okay, maybe I am writing too hard. Cause that looks pretty good. I mean, my handwriting sucks, but... Okay, so I guess I just can't write too hard with this pen because it starts like scratching the paper and then I get little chunks, almost like lint, you know, and it prevents it from writing great. Okay, so I'm gonna play around with this some more because this is interesting. I do have a pen that's, you know, like right here, that's an extra fine, and this is this pen, and then this is a fine. So I don't know, my other extra fine doesn't do this, and I write kind of hard with it, so I'm not sure why this is doing that, but I'm gonna play around with it some more. Okay, I'm gonna write a paragraph and then I'll show you guys, and I'm gonna try to write lightly, not press down so hard, because this ink is beautiful. I want to figure out why it's kind of skipping, and like I said, it's like scratching the paper where it's getting lint on it. Like, it's weird. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, love, so do you see this? This is way too light because I notice, you know, I love it here, but that's because this is a much thicker nib. I would say this is more so a fine or a medium fine nib, so you can really see the colors and the shading. But with an extra fine nib, it is way too light. Like, I can barely see that. I figured out, you know, I was pressing a bit too hard when I was testing on the other side, but this looks really good. It's just it's really light, so I'm gonna have to put a different ink in this because there's no way I can journal with this. So yeah, I'm really conflicted. This is such a beautiful, beautiful ink, and look at that. Like the pairing looks so good together. So now I'm gonna have to look and see what I have in my collection to see what ink to put in there, because I can't journal with this. This is a gorgeous ink, but for an extra fine nib, it just doesn't work. And you know what's sad? A lot of my other inks that I think would pair good with it is just, it's either too shimmery or leaning more towards green, and this pen doesn't have any shading of green whatsoever. So I don't want to put anything that has green in it. I'm leaning or trying to look for something that's more blue. I do have Dust and Bloom, but even that I'm not even like too fond of it. Like I need more so of like a grayish blue. So yeah, I'm sad this didn't work out. Maybe I can mix it with another ink. I don't know. You guys help. Alright guys, I was super close on putting a shimmery ink in here, but I told myself I can't do that because I don't want to mess up my nib and clog it up and everything. So I decided on Storied Blue, and I've already inked it. I dipped it as well because I just, you know, takes a while for the ink to fully flow. So anyways, here's a swatch of Ferris Wheel Press Storied Blue. It's really beautiful. It's just like I said, it does have some blue green undertones, I should say. Less of a gray, but I think it will be fine. So let me zoom you in a bit, and then we'll do some writing samples. Hopefully this is, there we go. Because like, see, that's just way too light. Alright, so here we go. This is Ferris Wheel Press. Oh, I can see it. Wow. Yeah, that looks much better. Will I use this ink? I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, it's not too terrible. So this is... I mean, really, that's more legible, you know what I mean? This is just so smooth, you guys. Like, I mean, what else can I expect with a platinum? But okay, now looking at this and, you know, next to the barrel, I'm not even sure if the camera's picking it up, but it's like a good pairing. It's pretty good. So I think this will work out. Oops, I poked through it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's paired quite nicely. I just hope that I use it in my journals. It's just, I don't know. Can you guys see it? I feel like it's still so light, but because it's such an extra fine nib, it's pretty good. Alright, so there you have it. That is the ink I'm gonna settle with since Moby-Dick doesn't work. I really wish it did. It's just, that's just way too late. Like, look at this. I tried so hard to make it work. It's just not as legible as I would like it to be. So I think this one is better. Okay, I believe this is the last time I'm changing the ink in here. I just don't love Storied Blue. I don't love it. It just has too much of a green undertone, and as it's drying it's looking more teal to me, and I don't want that. So I didn't clean my nib at all. I just literally kept changing it. So this is not even the color at all, but it's fine. I'm just gonna write it, keep writing until it is the color that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be April Showers, which I have a vial of. So April Showers is actually a shimmer ink, but I did not shake it whatsoever. And I use a syringe to just get the ink on the very top. And now I'm just gonna dip it over and over until it starts looking like April Showers. And it's starting to see how it's like more green and just kind of keep, I don't know, it's more blue and gray now. Okay, here we go. I think this is it. This is it, you guys. This is the color. It's like Moby-Dick almost, but more gray. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna keep it with April Showers. Yeah, this is more my color. I know this is an ink I don't have a bottle of, which is weird because it's beautiful, and yeah, I need a bottle of this because I don't have any other grays. So anyways, I feel more comfortable with this one. So yeah, this is it. Look at that. Wow, I can see it from far away. Let me zoom you in. This is great. Much better than Storied Blue. Yeah. So much better. So this is I'm still seeing a bit of the other inks in here because like I said, I didn't flush it, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna write no shimmer because I didn't suck up any shimmer whatsoever when I put it in the cartridge. But hello, this is much, much better than the other ink, the Storied Blue. Like this is it. Terrible handwriting, but so happy with this. Alright guys, so here's my proper entry for this new fountain pen. In love with this pairing. Looking at it, it's like Moby-Dick, but 2 shades darker, so it's like a big sis. You know, I love it. And of course, the platinum nib is just amazing. It never really disappoints. Really love it. Very nice and smooth. I am now content, happy with this. I'm so excited. Really looking forward to using this in my journal. So I hope that was fun for you guys to see me freak out and figure out what ink to use for this gorgeous pen. Oh, I just love it. Look at that nib. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy with this. Now, if you're wondering where I purchased mine, I purchased it off of a seller on Instagram, Izumi_pen. I will link him below. You can get it there or also on JP Select. I've purchased my other platinum from JP Select. So yeah, I'm just so happy with this. These are Japan exclusive, I would say. I'm pretty sure. So it's very hard to find them, you know, on the market here in the US. So you kind of have to go, you know, off of a seller and such. So I will have all the info down below. These pens are not cheap, so please do not expect me to purchase a platinum all the time. I wish I could, but yeah, they're not cheap, and I love them. To me, I know it's weird like to say it's an investment, but it really is. in my opinion, if I love it, like, and I really want it in my collection, you know, I'm gonna put the money into it. So yeah, I'm very happy with how my my platinum collection is starting to look. I'm not sure if you saw my weeks setup, but I do have a few platinum pens in my wish list. So I'm hoping to acquire all of them by the end of the year. We will see. They're, you know, like I said, they're not cheap pens. But yeah, I'm really trying to, what's it called? Really condense, not really condense, but like really make sure that my fountain pen collection is really what I want. So I am starting to be very more so like I'm mindful of the ones that I purchase, and I am gonna be decluttering or selling the ones that I don't use as often. You know, I just want to keep what I really love in my collection. So anyways, I'm very excited to have this in my collection. Like I said earlier, I don't have a lot of silver pens at all. Like a lot of my stuff is either gold, and now I believe this is my second rose gold pen. So yeah, I'm excited to have a silver something in my collection now, like, because this is, I believe, the only one that I have. So anyways, that is it. Again, I hope you enjoyed seeing me unbox this gorgeous pen and figure out what ink to put in it. I feel like that was a little bit chaotic, but that's just kind of what happens, you know? So anyways, that's it. Everything will be listed and linked in the info box down below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will see y'all soon in my next one. Bye!